Welcome back to Dmac Mad Gaming. I'm your host Dmac, and here we believe gaming is a lifestyle, not a hobby. And today we're talking about Project Scarlet, the next project that Microsoft was working on for the next generation of consoles, coming to us probably in 2021 or 2020. And a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. He announced this A3 that they're working on the next generation of consoles, A3 this year, and a lot of people have really mixed feelings about it. Some people really don't care. Some people feel like it's awesome, it's exciting, they can't wait to hear more about it, and some people are upset because they just want to unball the Xbox One X or the Xbox One S, and they feel like they're being cheated. They don't feel like they're getting enough value out of their buck for the console they just bought, and they feel alienated because what if Microsoft makes these new games that they showed at E3 only playable on the next generation of consoles? People are losing their minds over it, and I think that there's something that they need to see. I was watching an interview that Phil Spencer did after the E3 that night, and I'm gonna have a link to that video in the description box below for you guys to check out for yourselves, where he states that they're not going to stop making hardware. Quit worrying about them not making hardware for the Xbox brand. They can continue doing that because they know how important it is. That's how they know exclusive is important to the brand as well, and that they are working on improving on the next generation, where it's going to be much better than the Xbox One X. So, what are some of the improvements they're doing for the next generation console that we don't know about yet? Well, from the interview and from some of the information that was leaked online, they're making two consoles for Project Scarlet. You have a traditional console where you can put physical copies of games in a disc drive and download that way. You can download games from the digital store. You could also play the game offline with the traditional console. And they're working on another console that's specifically designed for streaming. So you'll be able to stream games from a server to your console, which is supposed to be much cheaper than a traditional console, from what I hear from the information they gave us. They don't tell us about the schematics, what kind of CPU or GPU is going to be in these consoles, or what these consoles look like. We just know that they're working on two consoles for Project Scarlet. And people are really interested on why they're making a console that is only for streaming, because streaming is becoming a big thing in the game industry. Microsoft has the Xbox Pass that's doing really well, and PlayStation Now is doing really well for Sony. And Nintendo's coming with their own streaming service as well. Streaming is part of the game industry now. It's part of what makes the game industry interesting, and it's helping the game industry grow. So, of course, these big time organizations are going to be investing their money in streaming services as well. So, I think it's really interesting. I think it's a good thing, as long as they don't force it on their consumers. And Microsoft learned their lesson from the last time they tried to force streaming on to their customer base when they released the first Xbox. They got a lot of backlash from it, which made them recant on even trying to make this thing reality. And a lot of people still worry that they're trying to do that now with the next generation of consoles, which I don't think so. That's why they're making two consoles, one that's traditional and one that's only for streaming. Give gamers options, and what gamers love more than options. I mean, that's one thing gamers love: options. Hell, people love options in general. So I thought that was really interesting, and I think that's a good way for Microsoft to kind of wet their toes in that direction a little bit, because the last time they tried to go that route, they got a lot of pushback on it. So this time they're trying to take their time and ease us into the transition of having games streamed from a server to our consoles, which one day is going to be a thing. Just like videos disappeared when Netflix and Hulu came around, but you can still find physical copies of movies. Like Netflix has their own delivery service where they deliver videos in the mail, and they use Redbox and things like that. Physical copies not going to go away entirely. It's just not going to be mainstream. So this is the same thing maybe with video games, where you may not be able to get it mainstream, where you can go to a brick and mortar store and buy it right out. You may have to go through a different, some type of organizational service that provides physical copies over digital copies. But that's where gaming is going for the future. It's going to a streaming, and I have no problems with it. I have no problems with Xbox Pass, and I have problems with PlayStation Now. It's part of what is part of the involvement of the game industry. Game industry is evolving, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, we can't get mad at progress, right? And so the second thing that they were talking about that was interesting from what I gathered from the information about Project Scarlet is that the next generation of consoles will have faster frame rates. So you have faster frame rates. So it won't be like the 30 frames per second anymore. We don't know how high they're gonna go with the frame rates. We don't know if it's gonna be 60 frames per second locked into the consoles or not. We just know that they're working on to increase the frame rates for the next generational consoles, which a lot of gamers were concerned about when they were talking about high definition and fidelity within it for the Xbox One X and Xbox One X, and how pretty the colors and textures were. People would say, I'd rather have increased frame rates for my console. So they finally heard the gaming community, and they're going to start working on increasing the frame rates for the next generation of consoles, which is going to be interesting. I wonder where they're going to lock it at. They're going to lock it at 60 frames per second or higher. And I'd like to know you guys start in the comment section. Have you played games that are 60 frames and higher? And tell me the experience. What makes it different from 30 frames per second? Let them know you guys thought in the comment section. So I think that's really going to be interesting. And that's something that can be an incentive to go out and buy the next generation console, that you get faster frame rates. And I think that will make the next generation console a much more interesting hardware, because the frame rates will be a little bit higher than the Xbox One X, the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox One S, and the regular PlayStation 4. So I think that will be interesting to see how high the frame rates are going to be for the next generation consoles. What do you guys think? You think it's going to be like the 60 frames per second, or you think they're just bluffing? Love to know your guys' thoughts on that alone. So, it is the third thing that Phil was talking about from the information I gathered, was that they're going to have quick load up times where it don't take as long to load up your game to start playing. So they're trying to make it now with fast start, where they download enough of the game for you to start playing now. Excuse me, while in the background download the rest of the content from the game. I think that's awesome, because who loves loading screens? I can't stand loading screens. I know a lot of gamers can't either. So them to be working on to make quick load up time for your games is a great improvement to gaming so far, because I can't stand loading screens. I know a lot of gamers that can't stand it as well. So if it could be fast time for us to load up our game and get to it right away, because when you put in this to load it up, it takes so long to load. And if you click on the game to wait for it to finish loading, they'll put a screen up letting you know that the game is loading. They're trying to eliminate that, where it loaded up a lot faster than in the past, which I think is cool. I think that's really interesting. And as you know, Phil Spencer have always been about keeping all the consoles together as a family. So even though they're coming out with a next gen console for 2021, and it's two different consoles, I still think, besides a streaming console, that you'll be able to play all these games, all the new games, on probably Xbox One X and Xbox One S, as well as the next generation console, Project Scarlet. So I don't think that the gaming community got anything to worry about, and I think that Phil Spencer and Microsoft kind of eased a lot of our concerns. But I'd love to know your guys' thought in the comments section below. Do you feel like Microsoft addressed your concerns and made you understand exactly what they're doing to make you more comfortable with putting your money into their brand? Love to know your guys' thought in the comment section below, because it's a really interesting topic to talk about. And I love to know your guys' thoughts about it, because working on two new consoles, one for streaming only, and how they're going to do the streaming for this new console, I want to know about that as well. And I will keep you up to date when new information come out about this, because this is going to be one interesting year when the next generation console get announced. So I would love to hear what you guys think about it. And as always, thank you for staying to the end of the video. Make sure to like button and share this. It helps out the channel a lot. Make sure the notification bell and subscribe button to be notified when I upload more videos like this. My name is Dmac. You've been watching Dmac Mad Gaming. And as always, keep gaming. I'm out. Talk to you later.